long time. We've been on the air for quite a while. But earlier in the evening, when we had that tornado that was going through Cherokee County, Adair County, we were up at the top of the scale, folks. We were up at about 3 for what's called normalized rotation. The rotation indication was about maxed out. This is going to be devastating tornado damage with a strong to violent tornado potentially in eastern Oklahoma. So we'll go back to the radar. We got new warning updates that are happening. No tornado warnings. That's good news. It's 11:30. But this is, again, these storms can briefly produce spin-ups, and sometimes they go undetected and unnoticed, and it's very difficult. This is what we call QLCS. It's just a big cluster of storms, but unfortunately, each one of these storms has the atmosphere involved where it could produce spin-ups. So, Melissa, if you have any NWS chat reports, just let me know as we're continuing to kind of wind down our weather coverage, but we're still monitoring these storms as they move in now to the eastern portion of the river valley.
The Tulsa Weather Service did continue the severe thunderstorm warning for Choctaw, Latimer, Pittsburgh, Pushmataha. I always struggle saying Pushmataha, and you think I wouldn't because I'm from near Washita. So, but those winds are 70 miles an hour and hail that is 88/10 of an inch. I mean, that's rather large.
Yeah, nickel-size hail. That's good size. And then we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued. It includes LaFleur and Sequoia, so we still got those storms down there, just all over the place. Storms everywhere. We'll take a look at some of our weather bug cameras. We haven't done that. And we'll take a look at the Fulbright one, and we'll see if there's any type of circulation. It's a small storm, doesn't look like much, but I've seen less produce a brief spin-up west of Hiwassee. So we'll take a look. There it is. You can see the bright reds and not much bright green, so not as much velocity that's going towards the radar, so that's good news in terms of tornado potential not being very minimal. If we look at Washington County, got kind of a mess. We got little embedded circulations. There might be gusts of wind briefly. We've got the storm already moving through Fort Smith. So if you're watching us in Fort Smith and the storm's already past you, you can go to bed. You're done. Also, the Mountainburg area, Chester, anywhere along I-49 in Crawford County, you're done. The storms are over. There's one little area, and then we can finally say goodnight to Fayetteville, to Springdale, to Rogers, but we're almost nearing the end of this severe weather threat. And honestly, Melissa, we give the computer models a hard time, but they did a pretty good job on this. They had the timing right, they had the storms popping up, and that's exactly what took place tonight. And you were watching them earlier this evening, and exactly when those storms came in. Now, there were the initial storms that popped up pretty quick.
Right.
But overall, I would say it was a win for the high-resolution computer models, definitely, no doubt.
It really was. And, yes, that's the moral of the story is for a week now we've been talking about this system as they've been picking up what turned into being a very dangerous day.
That's right. We got a little bit of small hail that's popping up as well. We'll go ahead and unmic Melissa. So there's the storm west of Springdale. It's west of Taneytown. A little bit of hail that's showing up. Okay, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. So we've got a report that's saying a lady has been hit by a potential tornado. Yeah, let's put her on. Let's see. Yeah, she says that in her area that, and Hayes was talking about this. So we're going to hear from someone that potentially was hit by a tornado, and we'll kind of get the information from her. And it's all important information that we could pass along to the Weather Service out of Tulsa. So if we can get, when we get her on, you let me know and let me know her name, and we'll get her on here. So they say 62-mile-an-hour winds that were reported in Delaware County. No way to confirm, just relaying. They also have, so continues the tornado warning for Latimer and Pushmataha, as Melissa was mentioning, and I think that's old information here. Let me scroll down. No, we still do have, let's see here. So way down here. Yeah, storm that's continuing, tornado warning, and that goes until, yeah, that's actually old. NWS Chat's got some old information on there that expires at 11. That's kind of interesting that it that put it on there. So maybe just expired. So there's the storm. We got a little bit of hail cores here and there that are popping up, and we can see some storms south of Highville that has a little bit of small hail with it. And this is some pea-size hail. And west of Town, and I'm just kind of working my way up and down the radar line here. Johnson, Fayetteville, about to get a good downpour. Our dinner party at our house is getting a downpour right now. Wife is safe, though. Don't have to worry about that. Nothing tornadic at all coming in, so that's good news in our area. And these storms are kind of evolving into a large line. And then we got some additional storms that are popping up. So we're starting to wind down this severe weather threat. And normally with severe thunderstorm warnings that are, you know, kind of on the borderline severe limit, we would drop our weather coverage. The problem is these storms can quickly, as we found out, and we might even hear from the Van Buren area, just how quickly these storms can produce damage. And that's why we just want to stay on, especially late at night. We're just going to cover them all the way through. I know you're missing your late night programming, but it's been a pretty volatile day in the Weather Center and across the area. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's popping up. You can see the alert right there. As this storm system continues to track to the east. And this is going to be the back edge. We're just about ready to get out of the storm activity. It's close to midnight. We're about to turn into December 1st. By the way, I think December comes in like a lion, especially the first part of the very active weather pattern. First part of the month. Next week, this time, we could be looking at a totally different radar with winter weather potential. Still a ways out. We'll fine-tune the details. We'll let you know about it, but just giving you a heads up that we could be going from winter to spring back to winter, and maybe a rough winter in store with as active as it is right now, at least the first part of the winter. There's all those thunderstorm warnings that are popping up all across the area and literally just moving east. And if I did a track, it's kind of tough to do a track because there's all these different storms at different locations. Let me kind of take you back here a little bit ago. Let's see how far the radar goes back. So here's a storm that was absolutely intense. Now this time right here is 10:17 in the evening. So here's the circulation that was very strong. I do believe Proctor took a direct hit from a strong to potentially violent tornado. Again, you're looking at the circulation. I really hope that let's see here. I really hope that there's no anything serious with the Proctor tornado, but that does look like it came right through there, continued northeast, started to weaken a little bit, and then crossed the Adair-Delaware County line and continued to weaken. So do we have that? Do we have that lady on the phone? Are we going to get her?
We're having a problem transferring her in.
Okay, we do. I think we just got her on the line. So, okay, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Tell us first.
My name is Dan.
Oh, okay. All right, Dan. Well, that's a good name. My name's Dan as well. So tell me a little bit about what you've been involved with, and I'm glad to hear that you're okay. Tell me what you experienced, sir.
Well, I live in Van Buren. I live on Sandstone and Woodwind Way.
Uh-huh.
And we were watching the broadcast, and as soon as you said we were going to have heavy winds between 80, 85 miles an hour, it just hit. I mean, it busted my windows out of the house. There's part of a house across the street from me in this person's yard. There's part of a barn. There's boats down the road. There's trampolines everywhere. There's fences down everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Throughout the whole block, there's fences and houses down, and we got hit with it just too fast. I mean, we didn't have time to run.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And that's why we've been covering these storms the way that we have and consistently covering them. You said you were on Sandstone, sir?
Sandstone and Woodwind.
And Woodwind. Okay, so yes. Cloud Bridge, I see Quartz. I'm looking for Woodwind here. And so what's interesting about this, I'm going to show you. There's Moss Road, Broken Hill.
I don't have no reception now. The TV's not on.
Yeah.
So
well, the good news is you're done. The severe weather threat's over, so you don't have anything to worry about anymore.
Yeah.
What was your address on Sandstone?
Well, am I on the air?
Yes, you're on the air right now. This is, yeah, you are live on the air.
I don't want to give my address to people on the air, but...
Well, I'm just talking about, you said you're on Sandstone in that vicinity.
No, I live on Woodwind.
Oh, you live on Woodwind, okay.
Woodwind Way.
Okay.
So the area that it was coming from, it just came so fast, and then the alarms came after the tornado hit.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was a tornado. It hit it. It hit us hard over here.
Well, sir, I really appreciate, yeah, we had a power flicker here at the station. I really appreciate your information. We're going to pass along that to the Weather Service. And are there any injuries that you know about?
Not that I know of. All the neighbors are out, checking the damage and everything out here.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any damage or injuries. I mean, I got hit with all the glass when the windows busted and came right on me, but I mean, I didn't get cut or nothing.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you so much for calling in, letting us know. You're the, we've had Hayes that was out there that was spotting this storm. He saw the power flashes, and so we know that we have structural damage. And, sir, I'm glad you're okay, and have a good night, okay? Thanks for your report.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So that was Dan's information and talking about Sandstone, and I just wanted to know if, I mean, he didn't have to give his exact address, but I was just wanting to know the block number associated with it, just to know if the radar was really showing and picking up and detecting this tornado, which I think it was, as it was passing just northwest of Rena Elementary. So, and you saw that Sandstone was plotted on there. So let's look at the latest information here, and that is definitely a potential tornado, and I think it was a tornado, as we saw from his report, or we heard from his report. So I'm going to pass that along to the Tulsa Weather Service here in just a little bit. All right, storms in Fayetteville area are getting rocking and rolling, a lot of lightning. We're going to take a look here at one of our WeatherBug cameras, and we'll kind of give an update on what's happening, and very strong winds. We're talking nearly 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds with this storm as it's coming through. We've had storm spotters all across the area. We've been tracking these storms throughout the night. There's some incredible lightning. We can see how fast the clouds are moving, too, as well. Let me bring up a WeatherBug Network camera from the Chancellor Hotel. Yes, sir. Do we have some information that was coming out? I heard the...
You could have left 12 minutes ago.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to drop them off. All right, so again, we're continuing to track these storms, and I know that we're covering up programming, but it doesn't look like any of these storms are going to be producing any type of circulations. They're starting to weaken. They're starting to die out. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings in the River Valley. We still have a little bit of potential circulations that are trying to develop near Elkins. There's no circulations in Benton County, so there's no tornado potential there at the moment, so that's good news. We have storms that are in Franklin County, Johnson County, Western Newton County, Scott County, Logan County, severe thunderstorm warning. So whole mess of activity, and this is just becoming one big bow echo as it moves through. And the damage potential is going to be greatest in Ozark and in the Clarksville area, as it continues to move east. So I want to take a look here.
There's so many power outages to go along with this
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Close to 20,000 people in Oklahoma that are without power. And just here in Arkansas, between Crawford and Sebastian County, almost 21,000 people are without. We've got almost 7,000 in Crawford County without power. And then in Sebastian County, 12,000+ people without power. So close to 20,000 people in our area that these storms have knocked the power out for the evening.
It's been a busy night and turbulent night, and I really hope there isn't anybody hurt from that previous tornado. I mean, there's been, as we heard from Dan, came up quick and developed fast, and Hayes was reporting on it, and then there it was. So we're kind of panning our camera around here. This is from the Chancellor Hotel. We just got these cameras installed earlier this week, so you can see the lightning flashes. Still have lights of the Ozarks, which tells us we still have power on the square, so that's some good news. And you can see the winds blowing around too as well. There's a pretty strong gust. Look at that gust of wind, moving those lights and pushing those trees around pretty good. So you're probably just waking up. If you're in the area of Madison County, you just really haven't seen much activity at all tonight. But that's about to change as the Huntsville area is about to see this storm that's coming in. So, again, here's a look at what's happening in Benton County and the Rogers area. No rotations to be concerned with, and we just gotta constantly monitor them because they could just happen so fast, and I'm not seeing any indications of developing tornado potential. Yeah, exactly. We're just getting consistent information on NWS chat, and it's continually pushing out different things about warnings that aren't existing. So anyways, Rogers, Fayetteville, Clarksville, Fort Smith, Waldron. And there's a look at Madison County that's under severe thunderstorm warning. And by the way, that warning is going until it appears quite a while here, until 12:15. So we've got a little while here, about a half hour for the Madison County area. But if you're in the Fayetteville region, guess what? It's time to go to bed. Storms are over. Springdale, the line's just about ready to come through. Rogers, you're pretty close as well. And storms starting to move out of Franklin County into Johnson County. So what an incredible night. A lot of stuff going on. We're taking a look at a live WeatherBug Network camera. The wind's picking up just a little bit. The rain picking up as well. Some lightning activity. And that's a look from our Chancellor Hotel WeatherBug Network camera. And we've got another one, too. I'm going to bring that up from the Huntsville area. And this is what you get when you have an enhanced risk of severe weather and a very large system coming through. And so we'll look at the latest warnings. Melissa's running back and forth, giving a lot of information here, trying to get our reporters on the damage. We need to send, by the way, I think we need to send Peyton down to the River Valley for tomorrow. That's going to be one of the closest areas for damage if we can.
Okay.
So just letting you know about that. All right, so we're going to go to, there's the winds that are picking up in the Fulbright junior high area, and we'll show you that here in just a second. So I'll bring that up. We have a lot of cameras that are around the area, and we'll take a look at some of them. So here's Fulbright Junior High.
According to the sheriff in Benton County, all of Gentry just had their storm knocked out, or all of Gentry just had their power knocked out, by the storm.
Yeah. Look at the poles shaking around. Wow, you can see that. That's from Fulbright Junior High. So that's from the storm. This is why we're not dropping off of coverage. We just have too much going on. Whoa, there was an incredible lightning strike right there. And that's where this leading edge of the storm. And I'm looking. There's no tornado potential, so that's good. And I could show you that as well. But we just have strong winds, a lot of lightning. This is the brunt of the energy coming through. It's going to be out of here by tomorrow morning, so you have nothing to worry about storm-wise. I think the Jingle Bell Run isn't that tomorrow morning?
Actually, our very own Chelsea Helms will be hosting the Jingle Bell Run at 10 a.m. rather. So
smooth sailing,
yes,
great weather.
Thank goodness.
Not a cloud in the sky, really. Honestly, this storm system will be moving out. It will be a little breezy though, and a little cooler than it was today. Well,
she may need that breeze and that coolness to wake her up, because I know these storms have got her adrenaline going as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of our cameras here. We'll look at Mount Sequoia, and we'll take a look at what Mount Sequoia is seeing. Got a new warning that's being updated. So here's the Mount Sequoia area. Thankfully, the winds are kind of tapered down a little bit. And take a look at Lincoln here, Lincoln High School, or the Lincoln PG Telco WeatherBug Network camera. So notice it's just light rain in the Lincoln area. However, Huntsville, I'm going to have to move this camera around, but here's the Huntsville area, and you'll see that, so here's the Huntsville WeatherBug Network camera. So the damage, we just had a question on that. The damage is going to be worse in the Adair County area. That's going to be the stronger tornado, but there was damage in the Van Buren area, so we need to cover both areas, and it's obviously at night right now, so it's going to be tough to see. I'm going to spin this camera around because we're going to get a good view of this line coming in. Now, we're looking in the wrong direction on this Huntsville WeatherBug Network camera, but I'm going to spin the camera around. We're taking a look to the west, and now you're going to get to see the lightning. Now, this is one of our older technology cameras, so you can see how it's a little bit fuzzy, a little faded. But nevertheless, it's still a camera that'll get us a view of this storm. So
they did just cancel the tornado watch for
great.
Sequoia and Delaware counties.
Still in effect, though, for northwest Arkansas, right? Until 2, is that what they're going to do?
Sequoia, Adair.
Yeah, I see it right here. Adair, Delaware, LaFleur. It's all Oklahoma.
All 16 counties.
Yep.
Yes, all 16 counties in Oklahoma. It is officially done. You guys can go to bed.
Sounds good to me.
Right?
All right, so Bella Vista, Bentonville, Rogers, you're experiencing the brunt of this storm, and you mentioned that there's some power outages that were in the Gentry area.
Yes, according to the sheriff or the police there, the entire town of Gentry is without power, and 40-something% of Sebastian County is without power right now. And like you mentioned, it's just
there's a
mass of a bow that's going through, but the good news is on the back side of this, everything is a lot weaker, and once this does push through, you will be able to maybe go to bed, hear that light rain outside, but know at least that severe weather threat has moved east of your area.
Exactly. So eastern Franklin County, Johnson County, still under the gun. Clarksville. This is a pretty intense storm, too, as Melissa was mentioning, and in fact, some strong winds coming to Coal Hill right now. I want to bring up the radar because we're talking about this kind of behind the scenes, and want to take a look here at the radar and pop that up if we can. So we'll take a look at Mega Doppler, and you'll notice here that I've got the rotation on there, but there's a look at the strong winds that are coming towards Coal Hill, Clarksville, moving through Altus right now. This is a pretty intense storm. If we look at the warning, we're looking at winds 70 miles an hour, quarter-size hail. New warning that was just issued for Carroll County now and does include northern Madison County, including the Huntsville area. This warning goes until 12:45. Right now we're at 11:51 in the evening. You can see that on the Mega Doppler. And storms are continuing to move out. We got 58-mile-an-hour winds that were reported at the airport in Siloam Springs. Let me turn off these weather radios. So severe thunderstorm warning. You can see those work as soon as that warning goes out. Okay, here we go. So Heavener has damage, multiple power lines down, trees that are down. That was from emergency management. So strong winds, 67-mile-an-hour winds in Salisaw. You had power lines down on Highway 64 west of Vian. That was earlier from that storm. And then the large trees down on Old Uniontown Road. That was another report. And we have strong winds that was located in Jay and Delaware County. And basically, there's going to be widespread swaths of damage that we don't even know about right now because it's dark and a lot of people in bed or trying to go to sleep. And so a lot of things going on. But thanks so much for tuning in. I know it's been a long coverage night. We've been focused on these storms for several days. We knew they would be intense. We knew they would be strong. And sometimes the Fayetteville fizzle takes place. And in terms of tornado potential in northwest Arkansas, we might have dodged a bullet here. But some areas to our south in the River Valley and south of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel really got impacted. And there was that one long track tornado that went almost all the way through 3 counties and continued north into Delaware County. And might even have clipped Haskell County too. Very, very long track storm that was, let's just say, pretty intense on the circulation. There's the bow. The damage potential is going to be in Clarksville. That's where the strongest winds will be. You can see that backward C that's showing up. This is the wide view. So many thunderstorm warnings to even go through. But the good news is anywhere in western Benton County, I'll start naming some towns. Sulphur Springs, you can go to bed. By the way, thanks to Matt, by the way. Matt was at our house and appreciate everything he did today. But Sulphur Springs, you can go to bed. Also, if you have areas that are to the west, Maysville, Siloam Springs, you're done. You don't have to worry about it. Those storms have weakened. In the Rogers area, your storms are about to move out. And by the way, we've been also partnering with our friends at KLRC. We've been giving weather coverage on their radio station, and they're continuing to rejoin us. And so we appreciate them streaming our weather coverage as well. So if you get to your shelters, that you'll be able to get all that. And Matt Sales, again, in the Sulphur Springs area, really appreciate your help today. There's that weather system that's moving through Clarksville. This is a damaging wind potential, and that's going to be the strongest part of the storm. This is going to produce 60, 70, maybe even 80-mile-an-hour winds. I got to look and see if there's any type of rotation popping up, but I think our tornado potential is beginning to wind down. And then the tornado watch has been expired in eastern Oklahoma. So we'll take a look here at what's happening on the Franklin-Johnson County line. And there's that storm. Okay, I do have a call coming in from Hayes. I don't have anybody here to take it, so I'm just going to take it on the air here. Hey, Hayes, this is Dan, and you're live on the air, by the way. I got you on speakerphone.
Okay. Yeah, we went out a little ways, Dan, just to check on some of this with those power flashes. I'm currently right off of exit 3 off of Interstate 40 in Van Buren. There's a mobile home park here, and the damage is pretty extensive. I want to say right now that we believe everybody is okay. We do have one person heading to the hospital right now. A tree had fallen and basically just cut this trailer right in half. There's a lot of work going on now. There's going to be a lot of work ahead of everybody. I'm also getting some reports of some houses that had took some damage as well in another neighborhood close to this area. But as it appears right now, I would say that we can confirm the tornado did touch down, and unfortunately, this mobile home park took some of the brunt of the damage. We've got ambulance and police out here, a lot of people with chainsaws, and just trying to get these individuals out. They're very lucky. Like I said, I know one is being transported to the hospital at this time, but nobody else has been injured, and really got lucky with this one because there's a lot of large trees down and a lot of vulnerable mobile homes in this area. So we're also down the road clearing debris from the street to make pathways to get back here.
Just a real quick question, Hayes, just real quick, sorry to interrupt. That mobile home park, was that north of I-40? At the exit, or was that south?
Well, Dan, I want to say because we came in a back way. Is this north or is this south of I-40? We're north of I-40. Okay. So yeah, I'm seeing exactly where this was located. About how far? I'm seeing exactly where this is. Okay, go ahead. Right, so we're about 200 yards north of I-40.
Yeah.
So right where that circulation really wrapped up tight there when I called in to you earlier, it's almost certain that was on the ground at that time. Now, another thing, I know like we talked about, when these things occur, these QLCS tornadoes like you talk about, Dan, they happen so fast. And because
hey, speaking of that, Hayes, going fast, we got a new tornado warning that just popped up. I apologize to interrupt here.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah, as a new tornado warning, the NWS chat has been a little off, and I do believe it's for the Johnson County area near Harmony, and we'll take a look here. Yes, Logan County, so strong line of storms. I do want to let people know about this. We'll let the tornado warning pop up. Clarksville, in the Clarksville area.
It also includes a little bit of Pope County.
Okay.
Now, this is going to go until 12:15 a.m. They do have radar indicated rotation.
All right, so this is a new Weather Service report. Here's the Van Buren Okay, so here's some law enforcement that's reporting this too. Damage to homes near Van Buren on Old Uniontown Road and Bond Special Road. One house was reported on fire. That was at 11:10 in the evening. So right at the time you were talking about that storm. Man, just like you said, it ramped up real quick. And so, Hayes, I still got you on the line. I just want to cover this tornado warning and put a track on it and let people know about it. And this is exactly why we didn't drop off our weather coverage, because here's another tornado warning that popped up as we were mentioning how intense this storm was. Washington County severe thunderstorm warning has expired, so it's time to go to bed in Washington County. You're done. Storms exited the area. You can go to bed. Everyone in Washington County, nighty-night. Here's this storm, though, in Clarksville. Very intense storm. I do want to put a storm track on this if we can and take a look at